Greetings, and this is a video to show how to set up your Raspberry Pi using a TTL USB to serial cable. This is probably one of the easiest ways as far as the least amount of equipment needed to set up your Pi to get going. So you'll need the following: Raspberry Pi, the TTL USB serial cable, and a power source. In addition, you'll need another computer, probably a Windows PC, that will have PuTTY on it. So here we have the equipment we'll be using. Number one is the Raspberry Pi itself. In this case, it's a Raspberry Pi A+ model. Number two is the USB serial TTL cable, and you can see it's connected to the Pi just below the number one in the diagram. Last but not least is number three, which is the power pack and its USB cable. In this case, it's a white cable going to the power pack. So gather your equipment and then resume the video. With all of our equipment at hand, let's go ahead and wire things up. So first you'll notice that A is referring to the red wire, which is not connected to the Pi. This would provide power over the USB from the laptop or PC, but it's often not enough to really run the Pi with its other equipment, so we're going to skip it. B is indicating that we're skipping the very first two pins on the GPIO board of the Pi, and C is indicating we're hooking up the black, white, and green wires respectively in that order. Now that we have our equipment all connected, we're going to make sure that the USB cable is plugged into your PC or laptop. From there, we'll determine which COM port Windows has connected the USB cable to. Next, we'll launch PuTTY, which is a program to let us have a terminal window connecting us to another piece of equipment, in this case the Pi. And last but not least, we'll actually start issuing the Pi commands over the USB cable and using the Pi. On my PC, I've launched Device Manager, which allows me to see a lot of different behind-the-scenes things on my PC. In this case, I'm interested in the ports that are being used. So in this right here, I can see that COM port 7 is being used on my computer, and that's the thing that's connecting the USB to serial port. So here you can see I've launched PuTTY, which is a tool that allows me to communicate across a variety of methods to other machines. So what I'd like to do is use the serial connection, and note here that by default Windows had a COM port listed. I'm going to change this to the COM port 7 in my example. Maybe yours is different, so verify it's the same COM port from your device manager. And the speed that serial operates at is much quicker than 9600, so we're going to type in 115200, and that's all we need to do. Those are the two settings we need to change, and then hit open. My PuTTY window has now opened, and I pressed enter to get a response. Yours may respond immediately, but probably you'll have to press enter. And now we're actually ready to use our Pi as if we were connecting to it directly with its own keyboard. So in this case, the logon is Pi, and we have not changed our default password, so it should be Raspberry. And now we're logged in just as if we had connected the Raspberry Pi to a TV or monitor, and we're ready to use it. So hope this helped you out.